someone we can rely on. Similarly, we all want to communicate and lead well. Sometimes we have to, but we have our fears, shortcomings, weaknesses. And that's where we look for a place where we can rely on to improve our communication and leadership skills. We have found that, and that is Toastmasters International. One beautiful thing about Toastmasters is it believes in learning with fun. So let us have some fun with learning. Songs are a reflection of our lives, thoughts, emotions, feelings. In Bollywood, there are so many peppy, fun-filled, energetic songs that we would like to groove and dance on. So what you have to do? You have to think of a fun-filled, fast-paced song, a masti wala song. Raise your hand, and when I ask you, you have to sing 2 lines of that song. Okay? There are rewards. I will be giving you goodies. 2 conditions. No sad, dukhi, slow-paced song. Okay? And when you are singing, others should sing with you. Only then you will get your goodie. I will start with an example. देखा ना हाय रे सोचा ना हाय रे रख दी निशाने पे जान कदमों में तेरे. Who would like to go next? Yes. 2 lines. Everyone has to sing. Yes. रुकी रुकी थी जिंदगी छत से जल पड़ी हुई खुशी से दोस्ती. Who is next? शाम होने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम खोने ना दे तू मेरा हीरो ओ ओ ओ हीरो ओ ओ ओ ओ ओ तू मेरा
हीरो.
नेक्स्ट.
अरे बाबा. वाह.
Yes, you might know. Nobody knows.
कुछ कहना मगर ये नहीं कहना.
Only
आना नहीं.
Who next? कोई नहीं? No? Any hint? आँख मारे ओ लड़की आँख मारे मेरे लिए खुद के लिए. Who next? One more last. Yeah, please.
सुबह सुबह जब खिड़की खोले
बाजू वाली लड़की हाय दिल में बोले हेलो हाउ आर यू. हाउ आर यू.
ओ हाउ आर यू दिल मेरा
बोले हेलो हाउ आर यू.
Thank you. Today's meeting is a special one. Instead of the usual format, we have 2 power-packed sections. Educational session and a debate session. But before we start the first session, we need to talk something important. Apna time aayega. Apna time aayega. Let me introduce the timer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Harshit, please give a hi to everyone. He's pursuing his chartered accountancy and he loves to play badminton or football. The debate master would share the timing details of the debate session. The timer would keep the note of timing for the meeting and would display the timer cards to the speakers and the participants as per the timing details. I would request you to sing with me. Apna time aayega.
Apna time aayega.
Do we have any guests in the meeting? Swag से करेंगे इनका स्वागत. Welcome, a warm welcome and thank you for joining us. We would like to know more about you, so I would request each guest to share your name, what you do and what is that you are looking for from today's meeting or Toastmasters in general. We can start with you.
My name is Mahesh. I am in software development from last 25 years. And just want to improve my communication skills. That's what I do.
Thank you for the praise. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Krishna Sethi.
here. Today we have an educational session on International Speech Contest, ISC, the only Toastmasters contest that goes up to international level. I won't be speaking much about it because we have a special person to speak about it in detail. Before I invite her, I want to share a few more goodies. Now, ISC speeches are often about life experiences, philosophies, message, failures, overcoming it, motivation. So what you have to do? You have to think about a song that is a philosophical song or a song with a strong message or life lesson. Okay? 1 or 2 lines and no sad dukhi wala song or no fun-filled song but a message wala song. Okay? I'll start with one example. जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मकाम वो फिर नहीं आते. Who would like to go next? And this time I want good participation, please. There are a lot of songs. Okay, I will go with her first because she raised her hand.
रुक जाना नहीं
तू कहीं हार के कांटों के चलते मिलेंगे साए बहार के.
What should I give her? Okay, 1 chocolate. Thank you. Okay, thank you. सब सोच के रुको. Toastmaster Arvind, I'm coming to you. Distinguished. Yeah.
जिंदगी हर कदम एक नई जंग है, जीत जाएंगे हम, जीत
जाएंगे हम तू अगर संग है.
Something special. Now, Parika, please. Yeah, Dharmesh, yeah, we can repeat. Libby, yeah, please. Love you, zindagi. Love you, zindagi. This is specially for her. This is one song. अरे वाह, क्या बात है. Okay, yeah, first up.
अरे हेलो हेलो.
बाजी को जीतना जिसे आता है, निकलेंगे मैदान में जिस दिन हम झुके,
एकदम चुपके.
Ooh, this is for her.
है उसे हर दिल को गाना पड़ेगा.
Ooh, last one. Okay, you. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. It was wonderful. It's time to invite that special person. What happened right now? Okay. It's time to invite that special person who will be conducting the session on ISC. Of course, I would like to introduce her. She has over 20 years of media expertise in storytelling, script writing, and voice modulation. She has around 8 years of experience in Toastmasters. She was the podium finisher for ISC contest at district level for the year 24-25. She was a program quality director for the year 23-24. One of the 3 top leadership roles in district. That's not all. She's such a versatile person. She is a stage artist, choreographer, blogger, communication coach. She loves music, I know that. She sings beautifully, I know that. She is a movie buff, I know that. She's fun to be with. And last but not the least, she's one of my favorites. So let's welcome Toastmaster Sunita Vinod. Powerful, strong, bold, and influential, and she is that Dhakar. I'm excited about this, and I'm sure all of us are. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Firstly, you told so many of my lines. So ISC is about experience, ISC is about this. Now, what am I going to say after all that? After all my preparation. But since we are all starting with song, my kids love to sing. What? Do you know what my kids love to sing to me? Mummy sehat ke liye tu to honey. Because that's what I do. And if I have gotten to the podium in IC, yes, they've not called the winner here to teach you how to write IC. They've called somebody who has barely managed to finish at the podium, which is the 3rd place at IC. It's because probably I tell a story better. Or just because Vidya likes me more than anyone else who won probably that day. Let's just stick to that story for now. ISC is nothing but it's all about stories. For me, I think I started saying better stories after I became a mother. Because you have characters in your house. You made those characters yourself. And now you can introduce them in stories. Right? Off and on, the places that you visit with them, everything becomes a story. So I'm not going to call it so much as a international speech contest, but for me it's all about the heart, the craft that is required, and then how you get to the contest. So what exactly is an international speech contest? It's not just a contest. It is not supposed to be only about trophies. It's not only supposed to be about applause. It's not only supposed to be about what you get afterwards. It's all about having the 3 C's. There is no CRC here, the 3 C's. Clarity, the courage, and the craft. Clarity is then one message that you can bring into your story. Because without a message, your international speech is not going to land at all. Because you need to move the audience that is paying attention to you. The way I prepare for my ISCs, I know that if there are 40 people here, 40 into 7, I'm taking that many minutes out of people's life. I owe it to them to come with a prepared story. Don't think you can write a night before and win this. You may. I mean, for all I know, maybe some people have that caliber to win. But if you really want to go up to USA to fight for the championship, then that's not going to be enough. Because the best speech is not made overnight. It's made over a lot. It's like dal bukhara, which is made overnight, not the dal tadka, which you can make in probably half an hour. So we are looking at making dal bukhara of our story, and that's how we're going to reach. This is literally a journey of your story which gets up to this stage. And story can come from almost anywhere and everywhere, and it's all around you. A lot of people ask me from where do you get the story. The story is around you. It's when you travel, it's what you hear, it's your experience. It's someone else's experience which you make yours as well. You don't have to live all the stories. We don't have that much time. We can't We also tell our kids, right, when we raise them, that you don't have time to make all the mistakes yourself. So learn from other people's mistakes. That's like a shortcut. So when you write a story, you don't have to have lived that also. You take something from somewhere. Let me just ask, how many of you are competing for ISC this time? Very few hands. Vidya, you're not writing a story after calling me all the way here.
After the session,
You are eligible also this year. Come on, you should.
Just 3 contenders? That's it?
No, we have
Okay.
absentees.
So then I'll wait for your list of contestants poster to see if there are more than 3 that comes out of that. Yeah, if we can move to the next. I believe, why do some speeches stay with us? Now, is there any speech that you guys can go back and remember that you didn't hear today, you didn't hear yesterday? It doesn't have to be an international speech at all. It can be anything that has stayed with you. Can you all just go back and remember any speech that has stayed with you? You don't have to discuss it, but if you have remembered, do you remember every word that was said on stage? Do you remember what theatrics they were doing, all their gestures and everything? Do you remember all of that also? Difficult, right? But why do you remember the speech? Why do you remember the message? And how it made you feel at the end of it when the speaker stepped off the stage? So if you're not going to put that much of effort in bringing that one clear message in your speech, it's not going to be land. Just what I said in the beginning, it won't land. You can try everything. You can be best on stage. You can do a dance move like Vidya. You still not will it. Not pass the message. I'm going to take a lot of pot shots at you. You're my favorite. So you can do a lot of things over here. You must have also seen a lot of people speak. You must have watched a lot of people. When you start writing a speech, you must be probably looking at other winners and everything. That's a wrong way to go. Because what happens is you try to ape them, what they've said, how they're doing it, how they're saying it. And each one of us have a certain set of qualities. So don't first start by seeing others. First look at you. Look at the story that you can say, which you can feel, and which is your truth. Right? It has to sound just true, not perfect. I can come here talk about, I don't know, quantum physics. I myself have lost myself when I said quantum, because I don't know anything about quantum physics. I can get a physics professor, somebody who loves physics, to write me a 7-minute script. I know I can mug it up also. But how authentic will I be over here trying to talk to you about it? I don't know. How much ever I'm comfortable on stage, I've performed, I've been on stage from the time I was born. I'm not scared at all to face an audience. But I will still not be able to make that impact because I'm talking about something I have zero clue about. I don't feel it. It doesn't mean anything to me. So no matter what I do over here means absolutely nothing. Most of the good speeches you remember, it's because it changed something inside you. It left you with a feeling that, yes, I connected with that story, I connected with what was being said on stage, or I connected with the speaker because there was some kind of authenticity that the speaker was giving you. And that's the only way to connect. I see, like I already said, it won't come by accident. To some it does, I don't know how. A lot of huge respect to them. But here, okay, I should have done this before, but there's an asterisk with whatever I'm saying this is my process. This is my process of how I got to ISC. Last year when I got to the podium, that was the very first time in 8 years I ever even participated in ISC. And from club, I managed directly to district only because I kept on it, and my process was something that I kept refining. I'm here to share my process. Some of it may make sense to you, not all of it, because I believe that you all also have been in Toastmasters and have been writing your speeches quite enough, and you know what works best for you. So you don't have to take everything I say. You may take some, you may leave some, or take more and leave some. Whatever works best for you. That's just a disclaimer which has come in between, but just remember that for the entire thing now. Yes, so like I said, it's not an accident. It's all about how much you design it, and you have to design it well. And what's your design paper? How do you design it? What's your design paper going to be? Move to the next. What's your design paper? You have instructions. What's your instruction? Your ballot. If you're contesting, how are you going to win? If you stick to this, because you're being rated only on this, not on anything else. Right? There's 50% on content, 30% on delivery, 20% on language. I trust that the people who, the moment I asked who's competing and if your hand went up, is because you at least have some idea of how to deliver and you have a control over language. For language now you don't need anybody, you have ChatGPT and you have Distinguished Toastmaster up in here. For language, it will get fixed by itself, right? Delivery, again, it's something that you can master. But the only way you can master this is if you have landed your content correctly. If you don't have your content, no matter how you deliver it, and the Russian language also, if you're going to stuff into it, no one's with you. Because you've not done a good job, because you didn't give me a message. You've not given me anything. Just as audience, the judges are looking for very key things. If you must have seen the ballots, I'm sure that you must have seen, and if you're not, the VP and or president can float around the ballot in the group. You'll see that you can come. You'll see that it's very specific. Each and everything that's written over here, the speech development, effectiveness, everything that's written over here, they've given you parameters of what they are looking at. There's a second sheet attached to the ballot which explains exactly and breaks down what exactly are they looking for. If you carefully look at it from the bottom, you can actually take care of till this physical, more or less. Like when my kid is in 12th, he's sitting for boards. The first thing I tell him, MCQ karke aana pehle. How to get the MCQs done, but if you know the entire chapter, or if you can do the entire subject, right? But go for what is easy. That's what we often do in exam also. Whatever we know, we try to do that first. We make sure we are trying to basically tell the invigilator who's checking that banda smart hai. Last week, if you don't read my answer also, you may just give me some marks because I gave very smart answers in the beginning. So you always go for something which is easy, something that you understand. If you can take care of your grammar, if you can take care of what you're saying, all of these short things if you can work on, then your entire concentration again comes on content. But obviously you can't work from the bottom. You work from top, because if you have still not figured out your content, no matter what you do, it won't work. But don't look at, oh my god, I have to do this also. I am going to lose 30 in delivery because I don't know. I don't have a good voice modulation. How am I going to work on that? What am I going to do with the language? My grammar is incorrect. My tenses are incorrect. All of that can be taken care of. You tell me first, what's your message? Did you land your message first? First, work on your message. All of this is something that you can be trained on. But the truth that you want to tell the audience, that no one can come and tell. That is yours. It's your moment, it's your story, it's your experience. And each one of us, even if we are in the same area and we've all seen the same thing, we all will narrate it differently. Like, I don't know how many of you have seen Vantage Point. It's about flux that happens in one place and the movie keeps going back and forth because they're trying to take evidence from different sides of people who watched the blast happen. So everyone has a different story. Everyone's experience is different. Even if you heard somebody talk about that particular thing, it's fine. Your experience will definitely be different. So don't disregard what your side of the story is when you say it. There are always, and when it comes to stories, there are many sides of the story, not just two. Right? There are many sides of the story, and you can choose to take whatever side you want. And judges mainly are looking for this, for nothing else. If they can't be moved, then there's no point, right? So how do you move them? By just getting your message right. And I'm going to repeat that again and again because that is the crux of the entire thing. If you do not have a message, you don't have a speech at all. A beautiful delivery cannot just have a weak message. I can do whatever I want because I've been on theatre and everything. I can do whatever I want. I can tell you so beautifully something and everything, but if I have no message, nothing's going to happen. But even if I just stand here and tell you a story, but if it holds a message, if I know where I paused, I'm waiting for the message to hit you. If I do that without doing all of that, using the stage and running around, I will still hold a chance to win because my message got through to you. And that should be your aim because judges also aim for the same. So if you move ahead, yeah, we can move ahead. 3 I's, insight, impact, identity, which is what is going to give you a powerful international speech. Like I already said, if it is worth remembering, if you can connect with people emotionally, and mind you, the speaker's true. Maybe we should just applaud a little bit because 2 people are waiting outside. It's a smart way to get applause. They also know something smart is happening outside. Okay. We can keep creating that atmosphere. So yes, just what I said right from the opening slide. Where is your message? If I can remember after I leave stage. I don't know how many of you did manage to see my ISC speech? Anyone? I know Sangeeta cried.
You made me. Please take yours.
She was the star that day. She was removing she was getting my mic off me and then she's like, you are not allowed to make people cry. And I'm like, okay. She was literally threatening me. But I got there after 10 to 15 drafts of that same script. It didn't happen overnight. I knew what I wanted to say. There was this one moment that happened that caught my attention and it just stayed with me. And that moment didn't happen yesterday, it didn't happen a year back. It happened 7 years back. If I have still not forgotten that incident, and if it has stayed with me for 7 years, it's worth telling to people. It's worth saying it. And trust me, the first time you write, your construction of sentences, the language we use is so loose. Every time you go up and say it in another club and you keep taking feedback and you keep understanding, you come back and you know how to fix that one sentence again and again. And sometimes when we sit down to write, we have so many things to say. The idea is to figure out what to draw. That's also a beautiful process. Enjoy this process even if you are not going to participate. For fun's sake, just start writing a speech which is on the international speech guidelines. Trust me, you'll enjoy this process. Don't contest. Jisko karna hai karne do. Let them run for the trophy. Others, don't run, but enjoy this process. Because there is so much you are going to learn about yourself. What to say, what not to say, how you can say so much with so little. Everything is a process, and that process, I mean, even though I got down from the stage after I delivered my speech, I felt like I won, even before they announced, because I think I did a swell job. I didn't forget one word. I held on to all my emotions that I was supposed to. Every time I said this speech, I naturally became emotional. I wasn't putting it on. And I just commended myself. And I always used to keep this one person who saw my speech, the same speech from club onwards. And every time he cried. That means I had it. That means I wasn't going on theatrics by the end at district. Club mein roya, area mein roya, division mein roya. So I was like, and I said, you sit in front of me, I have to see you. And he knew my speech also word to word. If I forgot, I just had to lip read him and I knew what I forgot. Because I invested myself in getting up onto that stage. I know a lot of people say, participate hi to karna hai, let's just participate. Don't participate for that. Don't come for participation certificate. If you don't win and get it, fine, but that's a learning process. But do it, because if you don't do it, you're never going to learn how to perfect your speech. You'll still be just doing these project guidelines which nobody reads. Right? You will end up reading only those 2 lines which is in your evaluation sheet. How many of you all actually read the projects before writing your speech? There's so much knowledge in those projects that no one reads. Everyone is sticking to those 2 lines, which is on the evaluation sheet, and you just slip it to the evaluator, kar lena evaluate. No. This is a process that you will enjoy, and that's why even if you're not going for ISC, write an ISC word speech to just learn this process. Nothing more, just learn it. Because you are going to find a very different you. A very powerful you by the end of it. Now, even if I'm not writing an ISC, and even if I'm not competing next time, I feel like, I've got it. I have it in me. I know how to tell a story. I know how to grasp the audience. I know I made men cry in that audience. When people say, no, men don't cry, men cried, and they came to me and said, hey, I cried. I said, okay. I made someone cry. So I just enjoyed the entire process, and I knew that I knew how to tell a story. And I really feel elated about it. Tell a story, because all your life you'll be telling that only. Trust me. Whether it's the truth or not, you are telling a story. When your spouse is asking you, why are you late? It's a story. With emotion. With some truth, but with emotion. Right? When you try to teach your child discipline, if you do it with a story, this child will learn better. If you just say, don't put it there, but why? Nowadays the kids ask. I have a millennial and Gen Alpha also at home. So you have no idea what happens to me at home. How I get ridiculed for some things. But I always use them as characters in my story, and they know that. That's why they don't come for Toastmasters, because they know they are part of my story. So everything that you say is a process, everything that you learn is a process. So do it just to find who you are. Write that ISC word speech just to find who you are. Now, the most difficult part is choosing a story. Like I already mentioned, don't take somebody else's story. It will not do justice to your story. Somewhere you've been there. It shouldn't have happened. It mustn't have happened to you, but you were there. Like, to those who weren't there, my ISC speech was about this moment where I got irritated and I took my child to the dispensary because he had some stupid rash, and it was my day of leave. I wanted to sleep or laze out, but I had to take him, and I was fussing over that stupid rash when some mother ran in with her child because he was not moving, and then she just put her on the table, and the doctor told her that the child had already passed away. So that was a moment. This happened to me 8 years back. I still haven't forgotten it. You can come up with so many stories with this. You can catch a different line with this. You can talk about, I spoke about the fact that death don't come chronologically. Anyone can pass away. So you have to respect that moment and respect the people who are with you. I stuck to that. But you can have so many other angles, how they fuss over unnecessary things when something else is happening in someone else's life. I knew a little bit more about that mother, that kid was a special kid, and she spent 8 years from the time she woke up till the time the child slept with that kid. Now the doctor was telling me, now I don't know what she'll do, because her life for 8 years was spoken for. She doesn't know how to live from tomorrow. I could catch that story about women sometimes so tired of routines and doing their things, and they don't know when their children grow up and leave. They don't know what to do next because they've never had free time. I could catch that line. I could catch anything from this one incident. But I held on to that one moment which meant the most to me. I had also lost my brother-in-law who was just 28 years old, and that happened 3 years before this incident happened, and I probably didn't understand what was it to live with a mother in my house which had lost a young son. But that incident, when it happened right next to me, it hit me. There were too many angles that were happening in my life. I could speak about my brother-in-law, but I chose not to. This is the art of deducting. What do you want to take away? Because you have only 7 minutes. How much are you going to tell people? Choose your story which hits you the most. Even today, if you just close your eyes and think about that one moment that happened, which you felt really strange about, or well, somewhere, that's the story you have to tell. Nothing else. You don't have to keep hunting for it. It's there. It's right here, it's right here. You just need to bring it down on paper now and keep writing on it and keep making it look better on paper. So yes, this is the arc for a champion where you have a relatable opening. Either it's a question, but a question that the audience can recognize. I mean, we are done with this. Raise your hand if you. Let's not make, because imagine if nobody is listening to you and they don't raise hands. You're losing 15 seconds which are very valuable to you. Don't come up with questions where you're actually looking for answers. Throw a question, let them think about it. Come with a sentence or something that really matters, or start with a story directly to catch their attention. Move into your turning point, what happened. Move into a transformation that happened, how you changed, what happened when you were there, and a clear message and a powerful closing line. If your closing line is weak, then what you need to understand is when you are at your closing line is when the judges are looking down at the ballot and they start putting marks. And if your closing is flat, all those numbers change. All those numbers change and everything becomes a little lesser. The closing has to be equally powerful, but close the loop, go back to where you began. Don't drop it. But practice your speech. Practice saying your speech within those 7 minutes. Don't try a 7:28, a 7:26. Don't try it. Don't try it. In fact, I would suggest try a 6. Because when you go up on stage for the finale, you will forget. Or audience will take some time laughing, so you will pause. You have to count all of those pauses. The pauses when I said a story and it's landing on you, I have to wait till it's hit every single person. So the moment I said that, the doctor said that your child already passed away, and if I continue with the sentence, I've lost the audience. I need to wait for 10 seconds for everyone to understand what just happened. And I have to pause. And then I have to say. So I have to calculate that 10 seconds also in this. Not only the number of words that are in your speech. Because I generally speak very fast. I can do a 900 words or 950 words also in a 7-minute speech. But it depends on what are you saying. Comedy speech, yes, I can do 1,000 words in 7 minutes. I can just rat it out. But if I need something to land, I need to move back. I need to pull back and count your pauses, that's why. Don't try to video shoot you and keep watching. First, audio record yourself and see where your timing is. Spend time audio recording it. Listen to yourself. This is one way of fixing your own vocal variety. If you are not interested in listening to yourself for 7 minutes, then nobody is going to listen to you. Where do you need to change it? Start putting your feedback on your own and fix it. Another thing I tell my members of my club is also that if you're really looking forward to become an ISC contestant, then in the audience, when I have a regular speech, give out the ISC ballots in audience. Ask them to rate you on those parameters. And then collect it from them, go home and see where you get least marks. They don't have to write their names, right? But you are getting at that point in time so many evaluations at that point in time. You know where is the issue. If they can't hear you, if there's no clarity of speech, you know that you've been speaking, that is what you don't understand. So you know that you have to now start working on that, your volume or whatever it is. But get this as a practice. If you want to get somewhere, work now. The only two places I went and delivered my ISC speech before I decided that I'm going for it is I went for 2 evaluation contests as test speakers. Best place to try your ISC speech. The evaluation contestants are so competing with each other. I'm going to give the best critiques and I'm going to say the best things, I'm going to say the best evaluation. You get in one go 8 people dissecting your speech and to the best of their ability because they want to win their contest. They don't care about what your speech was and who you are. They are just dissecting it, giving your good points and bad points. And I did one in Mumbai, one I went all the way to Baroda and do it to get an idea and sense of whether my message is universal. Your message has to be universal. Like Sanjeev can't do a Bhandup act in USA. Nobody knows what is Bhandup. We laugh. But the moment you come also at a district level, Gujarat people don't know what's Bhandup. They don't understand Bhandup में खड्डे क्यों हैं. उसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है. वो तो कांदिवली में भी है. But what is कांदिवली? They don't know. So that is applause. So that is exactly what you have to do. Make it universal, your message right from start. Otherwise, you will be editing your main crux of the matter. The main message you will keep editing again and again. That means you're not rehearsing the same script. You're every time changing. You're changing the flow, everything. When you go to area, division, if you keep changing to fit the area, fit the division, fit the district, you're going to forget your actual script. So start with a universal message so that you can carry it forward. Right?
Do I go back?
Write for the year, not for the page. That was one, I think. Is it later or is what before? Yeah. This is simple. Don't use heavy words. Okay? Because see, it's good for book. In the book, if I read something and I don't understand, I can go Google it, thesaurus, glossary, everything, Kindle also. I'm not Kindle here standing. 7 minutes I have to tell you a story. If you don't understand the first time I said it, then what's the point? I'm not here कि इसका मतलब. I'm not a dictionary to come this side and then tell you what it meant and then again continue with my story. So don't go for that. Trust me, judges also don't understand. So don't go for that. They just know, nice vocabulary. But what did you say? What did you mean? So say it in the most simple fashion. Don't try to come up with something which is too hardcore and you just learn. I put in supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Nobody really cares. Just that, oh, she can say that. That's it. But did I tell you something that meant something? No. Right? Use moments, not paragraphs. Obviously, moments is just get into the moment, act up, tell people what is happening. If I'm talking about something which really moved me, I need to just stop. I know a lot of us are evaluated that you didn't use the stage. You should have said your first thing here. Then you should have gone here. And then you should have ended here. Move on the stage only if it is required by your story. Otherwise, stay center stage. And make sure you're looking at everybody. I can stand here and talk to her also. I don't have to come here and say, so Vidya, did you understand what I just said? I don't have to do that. I can do that from here. It all depends on how I'm pulling your attention. I can look at you and talk to you. I know how you introduce yourself, you slip your age in it. You're thinking that this is what Bumble? No. Toastmasters. So this is like things that you see, look at people and talk. I can do that from now. I don't have to run around. And then when I was small, no, I did that. And then when I became a little big, I did this. And then I became old, no, I was again. I can be small, big, bold here. It all depends on what the story demands and what comes naturally to me. If it naturally comes to me, then I can go here and I'm speaking, it's fine. But there is no specific thing that move era to era means divide your stage. No. Center stage is a beautiful place to be. Understand where the light is it falling on your face? All of those understanding is something that you will get to at the end. But all of that does nothing to you if you can't write your story and if you've not spent time on it. Right? Perform with restraint, that's what I said. Oh, and then I went flying. Please don't fly. Don't do anything on that time. And then I cried. We are not kindergarten students. We don't have to do that. And I've also seen somebody saying that, and you know, my friend's father died, and then she was like, I'm like, who cries like that? You know, that's in the film probably. We've seen even films age, right? Initially, how they would be like, all this they would do. Now they don't do that. Now everyone's eyes just tears up. You'll see one tear rolling down. That's good enough. You don't have to go, oh my God. And how, what if you break up, the girl runs and then falls on the bed and then she'll cry. We don't do that anymore. It's a heartbreak. You feel it and you move. You don't have to break the bed. Right? So if films have moved from being so exaggerated and loud, then why are you putting so much of natak in that 7 minutes? Right? It's a story that you're saying. It's not a mono act. It's not theatre. It's not dramatics. Don't do it. Do it if it calls for it and if it comes naturally to you. I am doing this because I've been doing drama. Now if you say, oh, she's doing like this, I can also do. No, you cannot do. You look silly. Right? So do what is your strength. And each one of us have a lot of strength. We just need to play on that. Find your strength. So come up every time, give speech. Take your evaluations again and again. Take good feedback. You may only assign one evaluator, but to speak to a couple more and say that I need feedback from you. Let them know prior. Don't go after everything and say, okay, and so Ron, what did you think about my speech? Ron was not even listening. He didn't know he had to give feedback. Right? You want from feedback from Ron, let him know before. I have a speech today, can you also give me feedback even if my evaluator is someone else? Right? Even if my evaluator is apna time aayega, I can still take feedback from someone else. This is about how much you invest in yourself to learn better. Can we move ahead? Yeah. This is what is going to always hold your speech back. Too many ideas, too many characters, too much performance and too little clarity. If your message is all over the place, again, you're losing them. Too much performance, you will lose them. Too many characters. Now, let's say I'm talking about my dinner date with my spouse. Sitting at a restaurant. And then the waiter came. And the waiter smiled at us. And the waiter put down the food. After the waiter is gone, the waiter is not adding any more value to this story now. Why am I then talking about the waiter? Why are you talking about a character which is not adding anything or transforming or taking your story from one place to the other? Control your characters. We have to applaud again. Sorry. No, please don't be, because they are not applauding me. They are getting applause. Yeah. So, control your characters. I know the need of you want to tell a brilliant story. Don't bring Kattappa and Bahubali and Mama of his and everything. Don't bring everybody. You want to tell me a story about Kattappa, tell me about Kattappa only. His childhood, his adulthood, don't dissect the stage. Stand here and tell me his childhood, adulthood and what he did and why he did. But don't tell me then about childhood of Bahubali, childhood of his mother. Don't tell me everything. Just make sure your characters are less. Fewer the characters, better story you can say in 7 minutes. Remember, you only have 7 minutes. 3 घंटे की picture नहीं बना रहे हम लोग. We are not making Dhurandhar also for 4 hours. Right? We have very limited time. And if you want to give impact to your story, then keep it always concise. One idea, many drafts, like I said, my draft, I touched at least 10 or 20 drafts. I kept using a speech in different fashion. I did it for vocal modulation. So the electives that you have, write a speech with voice modulation. I tried that speech in that also. So I added more dialogues. Then I used the same speech which I did for ISC in descriptive language. That means I took out all the dialogues and now I started describing the clinic that we were sitting in, the noise that was happening around, the chaos that was happening. I started building that. So I have made that one speech go through all of these electives and then have chosen what works best. If you're really serious about it, then work hard. And trust me, this whole process is beautiful. I think a lot of Toastmasters who've been Toastmasters for 8 years, 10 years and all, kind of, they can't understand why you all are not reading pathways, why you all are not reading the projects, because everything is in that project. How many of you know that to complete level 1 you have to do more than just your speeches? For level 2, level 3, for level 5, there are now roles that you have to do. Twice you have to finish GE, twice you have to finish grammarian, twice you have to finish T1. Do you know all of that? It's not compulsory. But then when does IRSC come in? Integrity. You complete your level without doing all of this because you just give speech. It's not going to help you. And all of this, see, it's a 100-year organization. कुछ तो देखा होगा ना ये बनाया होगा तो कि how we are going to better our communication and everything, right? So trust that the 100 years of work that they've put in, keep the project and move it because you will get here very soon then, because each of the project is teaching you to do all of the things that I just said. You can move ahead. Yes, my red card is up. Yeah. Oh, I finished actually. So yes, go back to your heart, the craft and the contest. If you're genuinely going to talk from your heart, your story is very good. If you're going to work hard on the craft, on your opening, your closing, how many stories are you touching? What are your characters that you're going to have in the center? Who is the story about? Did you feel it? Or do you want others to feel it? And how you're going to narrate it? And then you're ready for the contest. And being just up there and contesting with the best from the divisions, it's another high. Because you're not, see, in club you can be like, acha, I won among 2 of us. You know, then area, oh, 2 areas didn't turn up, I again won against the person who I was competing with in club. So you may come up to district like that, but by the time you get to district, that's not the case. You have the best of the best standing up there. Your entire learning changes, your entire understanding changes. So go through the process, even if you're not competing, write a speech and start it. In fact, I've pushed so many of my mentees who are not even from my club or from Gujarat, Rajasthan and all. I've already finished mentoring the ISC speech. Now they're practicing. Because you cannot write a day before. Don't make that as a practice, it will become a habit. You cannot create an impact overnight. Otherwise, you have to do notebandi, then you can create an impact overnight. But since we do not have that power, with no power comes even more greater responsibility. So, what you need to do is write. Well, I think that's it. And I think the last slide only talks about some 8 steps. I do this Wednesday Wisdom on Instagram actually. So this was my 8th step that I was talking about how to write or your guide to a good ISC script. So in that there are some more basic steps about realizing your mic or how to check what your background is, what costume you're wearing, what's the, you have to even figure out what ornaments you're wearing. What kind of mic they are going to give you. Are you going to wear a headset? Are you going to wear a collar mic? All of this. Because I think I had a headset and my prop was a dupatta. It became very cumbersome for me to remove it and put it back because I was using only that in different ways. Right? All of this are questions that covered in those Instagram thing. All of this comes in. But all of this is at a very later stage. After you've done all of this, which is pick a pen, close your eyes, find that one thing that you still remember and start writing. It's not going to happen today, but eventually it will. And when it does, you'll know it and you'll feel it. Thank you. He's not yet at the red card. Running over time, we can get into debate. We have time? Yeah, let there be light. Now there's nobody waiting outside. I won't get any more applause, so might as well ask some questions. Anything that you didn't understand, or you all want to know more about my process, because this, whatever I said here, whatever I prepared here, it's completely my process. The grilling process that I went through to get up there in one go. Yes.
So I have a question from when I was competing way back. I had a speech which was only one story. Like it was from start to finish one story. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
And I kept losing to people who had multiple ideas in their story. More like not a story like they were giving a kind of like a knowledge dump type of thing.
Yeah.
So any theories on that? Why would that happen? Right?
See, I think over time, a lot of things have changed, the way people listen to story, what stays with them and what doesn't. I think now the way it is, looking at the generations also now, everything is a 10-seconder, right? Everything is a 10-seconder. So you want to go to the next story, you want to move to the next idea. You can't really hold everyone's attention with one idea. Because they are like, अच्छा इसी के बारे में बोल रहा है क्या? Then you switch off. Which like happens in a classroom perhaps. If this is my chapter today, I'm only going to talk about Mohenjo-daro, then you're like, हाँ मुझे पता है. Right? You know, you don't want to know more. How much do you? But if he shifts to another heritage, another, and keeps bringing in, then you want to keep listening to it. But things have to be connected. If it happened then, I don't know what was the scenario then, what really moved people, or maybe the storytelling pattern was changing then. When if people were talking about multiple things and they were taking them from one place to the other, then I don't know. I think the basic idea then, the evaluation process is also, like I said, these are basic things. If you don't know what to say, everybody says, you didn't have eye contact, or you had good eye contact, or you didn't use stage, or you used stage. These are the 2-3 things that people say. So then probably, maybe, then if you see, it's also evolved.
So my difference
Yeah.
is it the difference between a personal story and generic knowledge that has been given in a kind of entertaining way. So
It's always, see, I always believe that look at the audience as if they don't know what you're saying. So you have to tell them. It's a knowledge passing exercise, but in an exciting way. If you say it excitingly and they get the knowledge, it stays with them. It's about what is going to stay with them and how you put it. If you put your knowledge itself in a story and give it, then they get it. Unless you are just sticking to one thing which you're talking about, which they know, and then they lose interest. It becomes difficult for them to get back. So I think it's a way of crafting it and telling them. I think people are waiting to listen to something that they don't know, or something that they know but they never realized it that way. Like we all know, parents may pass away, we need to spend time with them, or something may happen. But when I came and said that a child passed away, and you keep looking at your parents who are going to pass away, this can also happen. So that, it's not a realization, everyone knows that can happen. But that realization is what shook probably people inside. Right? It's telling them something that they know, but in a way that they go realizing something. I hope Yes.
You mentioned you delivered your speech in a variety of ways. one time you were focusing more on dialogue, one time you were focusing on the environment. Can you share some learnings that you had from delivering in these variety of ways?
So that is where I understood that I shouldn't be going into let's say in my descriptive language and where body language was considered, I did something like, I started with a little comic thing where I'm sitting with my kid and there's another mother who has a infant and that infant pees. So obviously that angle comes in like this and it falls on my kid's feet. And when I start with body language, I say, okay, and my boy just shook it off. So this is more like a dog, okay, shaking the leg off. I got some feedback that you don't need to be so, you don't have to use your body language so much. So I tried to figure out, okay, fine. So that's something that I don't have to do. So then when I actually came up to changing, I was like, I just said, okay, so what goes up comes down. We all know in physics, and that's what happened to my kid. And he looked at me, I looked at him. I made it into a very smaller gesture. I didn't go and do that. I asked him to shake it off. I said, he looked at me, I looked at him, I looked at her. She didn't look at me. I looked back at him and said, it's okay. So I didn't make that gesture. So this, I perhaps wouldn't know if I wouldn't have read the audience, because someone didn't like that gesture of mine. I mean, it didn't add anything. It didn't add even humor. I thought probably people will laugh, they didn't. Rather they laughed at this whole thing which I stood in one place and did, and not that. So that was a learning. Descriptive is when I actually created the entire scenario. When I walked into the clinic, it was a mess. There was a sea of mothers, they were sitting here, sitting there, chaotic children, some parents playing Candy Crush, and it's very visual. People start seeing, some are playing Candy Crush, some are talking about, ye sari kahan se lai? That, I started creating that moment, and then I brought everybody into that clinic with that. When I started doing it, the same speech in a descriptive fashion. So that's what happens. If you keep changing, you then tend to understand that what part of it held more value, where I had more attention, and then you start retaining only those parts. And when you finally give a speech, you have a mix of voice, which worked in the voice modulation transcript, what worked in the descriptive, what worked in the body language. And then you mix all of that and you tell your story and you basically create a movie, a 7-minute movie on stage where you're now touching all angles of these electives that basically went your same story. Try it out, it helps. Anything else? Nothing else than applause. Thank you so much for having me here, and I had fun. I mean, I didn't even know why I was coming here to teach, because there are already Diggaj log here who have won, written books, they know how to write stories, and I knew that Ron probably knows more craft of how to write a story than even I could add here. But what I told you is, like I said, my process. It may help you, it may not help you, but inception works. Take something from here and make it your own. And change it, tweak it, it will work. But one thing is for sure, without hard work, you're not going to get there. And you will not understand the process. So do it. Sorry.
Thank you so much for such an enriching session. It was very insightful. I would like to say it's not an evaluation and I'm giving my commendation. It felt as if you are sharing everything that you know. You are talking from heart. And I'm sure it was not just an educational session, it was an inspiring session, because those who were not thinking of participating, I'm sure there will be many who would be now thinking of it. And one more thing I would like to add, there were times where we can get distracted as speakers. That shows how veteran speaker she is. She continued like this. So
listen, I had so many papers, I didn't even get to it when I just started speaking.
Yeah, you spoke from heart. That was so obvious. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be on stage. I would like to invite Toastmaster Libby, the president of our club, to felicitate this special speaker.
so much for coming here. And like Vidya said, I almost echo everything that she said.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, me as well. I cannot leave you like that.
Thankfully, it's a photo and not a reel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. You can follow Chartered Accountant Radio because I do a lot of reels on it which is completely on Toastmaster education reels. It's not personal. You can also follow Vidya. She does a lot of dance reels.
Thank you.
See, I spoke for you also.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause. Not just for the session, but also for what she said at the end. Please welcome. This is a special meeting, as I said earlier. Our usual meetings are different. We have 3 sections in that. One is prepared session, and then we have table topics, and then we have evaluation. In today's special session, we had our educational session, and we are going to have another session that is a debate session. एक गरम चाय की प्याली हो, कोई मुझको पिलाने वाला हो. Since there is no chai pilane wala, there is no chai also, but there are snacks and a break. So we'll take a break for snacks, and we will meet after 10 minutes, which will be 6:22. some songs which are kind of debating, and I mean there is debate in it, or there is fun banter or fun conversation between 2 to 3 people or groups. So what you have to do is think of such song, raise your hand and sing, and you will get goodies. Okay, we have, yes, great. Yes, you can start.
Who?
I have to sing.
Yes, yes.
Somebody
And
else-
everyone has to sing.
Somebody else will sing the other part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Better part.
Okay.
हम भी है जोश में, बातें कर होश में, यूं ना आके दिखा। सैलरे, क्या बोला फिर बोल रे।
I think so you only have to sing the. Okay, anyone else? Okay.
Oh, goody.
Yes.
अभी क्या big bad हो गया?
Lysol happy thing. वो थोड़ा रेट ज़्यादा था. Okay, yeah, please.
Okay, there are two actually, but I can sing either. तेरी महफिल में किस्मत आजमा कर हम भी देखेंगे, घड़ी भर को तेरे नजदीक आकर हम भी
At
देखेंगे,
least we can do this.
हम भी देखेंगे,
तेरे कदमों में किस्मत आजमा कर कदमों में सिर अपना झुका कर हम भी देखेंगे.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
Okay, so we have this for you. Yes.
Essays also deserve the goody.
I don't want. I don't want. Okay, this is special for Sunita. Thank you. Okay, who else?
हाँ.
इसका भी छोड़ने वाली. Okay, yes. और किसने आंसर डाला ना? हाँ, yes. एक, दो, तीन, दो. ये तो सब गाएंगे. क्या मैं बोलूं?
सुना. अरे झूमेंगे, फिरेंगे, नाचेंगे, गाएंगे, ऐश करेंगे और क्या.
और कोई? Anyone else? Okay, yes.
Let's complete this with the
Hello. हाँ. I was waiting for this.
करके सिंगार
मेरे
मन
के
के
द्वार ये घुसत जात
हम हंसत जात
हरे पे. एक चतुर नार.
बड़ी होशियार
कपड़े दोनों और बच्चों भी
No, special. Oh, thank you.
Okay, last one for you.
No.
इस बार, yes. Okay, someone else. Yeah, धीरज के लिए तो करना.
ये मूड की कुछ और.
No, a little conversational, yeah, ऐसे banter वाला song. Non-scientific. Okay, this is the last one.
फिर उसको suggestion दो गा के गाओ.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes. तो जाना है अभी अभी तुम्हारी हो, अभी अभी जाना है, अरे ढल गया दिन हो गई शाम, जाने दो जाना है. This song was intentional. Okay.
Chocolate dip.
Okay. That was wonderful. I thought this would be the most difficult one, but yeah, you people rock. Okay, it's time to invite our very member who is going to conduct the debate session. I'd like to introduce her. She is the co-founder of Ashunya. She is a financial planning advisor by profession, an economics educator by passion, a Toastmaster by interest, a daughter, sister and aunt by love. We all know she is superb in communication. She owned the stage. We know about her leadership skills. She is the division director of Division M. But there are some wonderful things that we have slowly discovered about her. Like, yeah, she's a very helpful friend. If you are in need, she'll be there. We didn't know about her dancing skills, which she showed in last Elements, and how graceful she was. She will say, I don't like to party and all, but she has fun side also. And the singing aspect, we saw earlier and today as well. So big round of applause. A song for her. Chugni, Udi, Naye Naye par liye, O Pinjra khol, O Pinjra khol, Chugni. Over to you.
1 minute more and my heart would have stopped. Right, members, we have a debate session. Now, there are two parts to this debate. As you've seen, there are two debates here. The first debate is going to be between two teams. And the audience role here is going to be that you are going to vote for the team that convinced you the more that they are right. I am very confident that an audience of Toastmasters will be able to put aside their bias about the topic or pre-decided bias about the topic and vote for the team which convinced you. Not for the team which has your friend in it, but the team that convinced you. Now I am going to go super old-fashioned and pass around chits. So you just write for if the for team convinced you, against if the against team convinced you. We will come and collect the chits from you and that will decide which team wins. Each team has each person, so every team has 4 members. They have chosen their own speaking order. I didn't want an electronic vote. I wanted chits. I had 2 questions from the president coming to me. Are you sure? And I told her, yes, I'm sure. I want chits. I don't want electronic voting. So each team has chosen their own speaking order. Each member here has 3 minutes. Each speaker is allowed to make a point, reiterate a point, or rebut a point somebody else has made. Yes? The topic for the debate is, we are living a better life than our grandfathers. Or like the VP very strictly told me, grandparents. So we are living a better life than our grandparents is the debate. The teams have chosen that side. Team 1 is for the motion. So they are saying we live a better life, and team 2 is against the motion. They say no, don't live a better life. Should we jump in, or you want me blabbering more? No? Good. So we will start off with the first speaker from the 4 team. We have Toastmaster Jez. Over to you. Speaker will, timer is, the red card means you have 30 seconds to wind up. Now audience, one small thing, I'm sorry I forgot to brief you. We need your cooperation. At the end of 3 minutes, the timer will start applauding, so will I. All of you please join me, even if the speaker is on stage. You can start.
Our grandparents dreamt of living a longer life, but we today are living a better life, more healthier life, more comfortable life than them. My dear Toastmaster friends and guests, today I stand here as supporting the motion that we live a much better life than our grandparents. My grandparents, they used to constantly tell me that you should not be drinking aerated drinks, carbonated drinks. It holds true today also. You should tell your kids not to drink them. But the result of doing that was there is a severe acute damage to your kidney. Then 30, 40, 50 years ago, that meant certain death. A liver failure, a kidney failure was a certain death. Today, you can get your tests done for kidney function test in 2 to 300 rupees. If you do it every 6 months, you would be aware of how your kidney is working, because kidney is the organ which fails, and when you know it, it has already failed. Suppose that it has failed, you have organ transplant, which was not available 40 years ago. Even if you don't get a donor, you can live for many years healthily by dialysis. So renal dialysis is something which you have very common. So think of it, 50, 40 years ago, people who you know today living on dialysis wouldn't be there today with you. So that's a huge leap that we have taken. So organ transplant, blood transfusion. You have public health sanitation, clean drinking water. All these are basic things which in the last 40, 50 years have changed the way we live much more comfortably. You have gadgets which are your personal guardian to health. What more do you want? If today, when you get an option to choose whether you live a better life today than your grandparents, choosing yes today will mean that you have actually respected them who worked hard then so that you live a better life today. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jess. So we live a better life than our grandparents because we have better medical facilities, says Toastmaster Jess. Now let us listen to Toastmaster Sushruth, who is against the motion.
So let me start with a simple question. If I give my grandparent a smartphone, high-speed internet and a luxury apartment, but took away his peace, his health and his time with family, would his life be truly better? No. We are the most connected, we are living in most advanced era in our history. We have faster transport, we have smarter devices, we have endless opportunities, we have technology at the fingertips, but progress has a hidden cost. Our grandparents live in a time with fewer machines, but they had stronger hands. They have limited choices, but clear mind. They have limited resources, yet unlimited patience. Today we are the most connected generation before us, but stress has become a lifestyle, anxiety has become normal, and loneliness has become common. And here lies a proof of loneliness, that people sit together yet speak less. Families eat at the same table yet look at different screens. We have 100 of contact, but there is no one to truly contact at the end of the day. We have gained followers but lost our friends. Technology has connected our devices but quietly disconnected our hearts. So our grandfathers, our grandparents measure the success by measuring respect, relation and character. But our generation, they measure success by status, salary and social media approval. If we confidently want to say that we are truly living a life better than our grandparents, then we must have to redefine what truly better means. Is it a faster internet or peaceful sleep? Is it more followers or meaningful relationship? Is it convenience or contentment? So until we answer these questions honestly, the concept that we are living a true better life than our grandparents is open to serious doubt. Thank you.
So Toastmaster Sushrup says, no, we're not living a better life because there's less peace of mind and less meaningful connection. Now let us listen to someone who's again going to tell us that yes, we are living a better life. We'll hear this from Toastmaster Shweta.
The opposition team has talked about that how simple our grandparents had lived their life. I totally agree with what he said. But just pause for a moment and picture this. My grandfather struggled his entire life to educate his 6 children. And every time he gets a salary at the month end, he didn't plan a holiday nor a saving. He sat and asked a very hard question. Which child will get education this month? That wasn't simple, but heavy. Now just shift that picture in today's world. I am sitting with my laptop in my own comfort zone at my home, learning from people across the world and at my own time zone. That's not, I didn't earn it. That's the opportunity. I didn't work hard for it. That's the opportunity that I've got. And that's the way how this world has evolved from what our grandparents didn't experience. We are so privileged to experience that. Now let me tell you one more story. My maternal grandmother, who loves reading books, she wanted to become a teacher, but she has to give up her studies, not because she don't want to read, but because her father can afford only one person's education and she has to step back. And she closed her books, not for years, but forever. And that story itself tells that we live a better life than our grandparents. I think this world has evolved so much that the grandparents have sacrificed so much in their life that we have a choice. We don't need to sacrifice that much. So I think I stand by for that why we live a better life than our grandparents.
So Toastmaster Shweta tells us that today we are in a better economic position. We have more chance, more opportunity, more choice. Hence we live a better life. Let us now listen to Toastmaster Shashank on what he has to say.
As my teammate already reiterated that what is better? Does it mean that having more gadgets, more connectivity, or having fast access to transportation or medicines, is that better? Or better means having thought about well-being of human being? I just want to share a few researches happened over a period of time in this world. First is Pew Research organization has done one research. That organization has found that half of the population of the world believes that they live in an era much worse than what the era was before 50 years ago. That means they agree that we are not living in a best life than our grandparents. Why this happens? Because we may have multiple choices, but the peace of mind, that is the main thing, main essence of life that we are somewhere missing out. Secondly, talking about the connections. About the connections, we say that world is now closer. There are multiple choices to connect with the people. But interestingly, a research firm, US Surgeon General, in 2023 has declared a new term, that is loneliness epidemic. As per this guy, what he wants to say that nowadays the loneliness among the people are increasing day by day, and 1 out of every 2 members is feeling much more lonelier than ever. You know the impact of loneliness. He has told us that loneliness can cause the same impact that people having 15 cigarettes in a day. The loneliness can rise the chances of having heart attacks 29% more and dementia 50% more. So are we really living great life than our grandparents? We are still having much more avenues of connections but less of connectivity amongst the people. Thirdly, about the medication facilities. Who needs medication actually? The one who is sick. But have you ever seen your grandparents being sick? Majorly no. With age they might get sick. But the frequency of sickness that we are having and they are having are very different. So I say that we are living the better life than we are not living the better life than our grandparents.
So Toastmaster Shashank says that there is more loneliness, there is less quality of life, hence we are not living a better life than our grandparents. 50% of our participants done. We have 4 more speakers, so I'm reminding the audience. The decision of this debate is based on who convinced you more. You have chits with you. If you think the for team convinced you more, write for on the chit. If you think the against team convinced you more, write against on the chit. And please don't keep aside your bias about the topic that you previously had. I'm very sure Toastmaster Vidya and Toastmaster Praveen will be gracious enough to help me to collect the chits. Moving on. Let us now hear someone who is for the topic again. Toastmaster Harshit.
Toastmasters and guests. My grandfather once said, if I missed the radio, I could not even know what was happening in the world. That sentence explains the difference between his world and ours. For him, his radio was his internet. One chance, one voice, one time. You miss it and the world moves you. Today, we have internet, which has replaced the radio. Today, more than 5 billion people have access to internet. News, topics, voices, everything which you want is available on the internet at all time. Yes, there are plenty of information, but I feel that overload is better than nothing. At least we have choices today, and that's why I stand for the motion. Not because our life is easier, but because we have greater opportunities. Yes, opportunities come with distance. My grandfather left his village and came to Mumbai for work. Back then, distance meant patience, as mentioned by Shushrat. Yes, and phone calls were rare, letters took weeks, and relationships survived on patience. Today, long distance means video call. Messages are sent in seconds. And yes, hybrid jobs, remote work, they were not even imagined about all these things, which we have the luxury to live in. My grandfather had to take leaves from his office for any bank work and had to stand in queues for hours. And for investment purpose, he had only one simple investing opportunity for retirement. Government job le lo and pension aati rahegi. But today we have UPI, internet banking and mutual fund stocks, everything. And these are all available not only for the powerful person, but for everyone which want to do that. Yes, I do think that they had the simpler life, but we are living in the world which we want to imagine. They lived the simpler life and they survived it, but we are living in the life which we want to imagine it. And that's how I conclude. Thank you.
Toastmaster Harshit says you have more investing opportunities, you have more connectivity, hence we are living a better life than our grandparents. Let us hear from Toastmaster Kanchika. What she has to say.
Let me start with a personal example. My grandfather came from a small village in Uttar Pradesh and moved to Kolkata. And from what I remember, by his early 30s, he had a modest house, a single income that could support his whole family, and a permanent job. And his evenings were reserved for time with neighbors and friends where they would gossip about things from life to philosophy until late hours in the night. Unlike me, who at 7:30 is still negotiating for deadlines with my boss. So, what we're talking about is that we are living a better life than our grandparents. But is it really the case? There have been evidences that communities in India have been living with stability and a progressive lifestyle since our grandparents' time. In parts of Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, there were local panchayats and sabhas which could resolve disputes locally, quickly and affordably, unlike the modern judicial system where we are still toiling for years to get justice. In Kerala, the literacy rates were among the highest since our grandparents' time. And that was because of the concept that education is not a luxury but a shared community responsibility. Efforts were done towards developing community libraries and public schools. Unlike today, where the quality education is skewed towards entering into private institutions which charge exorbitant fees and rates. When you come to Gujarat, the community movements were very strong. They were workers and employees who would pool their resources, share profits and reduce risk. Now in the era of rampant capitalism, we have select few conglomerates who control all resources and hence all the interests. Now let's talk about numbers. Studies show that in the 80s and 90s, a house would cost you 3 times your annual income. Now it costs 8 to 10 times the annual income. So anyone in his 20s cannot imagine owning a house free of mortgage. Speed, affordability and a real sense of community. Opponents have talked about, we've talked about health and medicine. But look at the headlines. AQI in Delhi, AQI in Mumbai. You will not have the problems of lung diseases. You will not have a lot of problems if you are living a healthier and a better life. So go back in time with me and imagine in this era of layoffs, could you really say that one job, one income and a real community is what you have today? Thank you.
Toastmaster Kanchika says grandparents live better, simple living, high thinking. Okay? Now let us hear Toastmaster Bhushan tell us why he is here.
So my grandparents were not as lucky as Kanjika. My grandmother used to carry 5 liters of water on her head for 5 kilometers to have a drinking water for her family. She had 2 sons, 3 daughters. Both my grandparents used to work very hard to feed them for 30 days. So that was the case like 50, 60 years ago versus today. My grandfather used to walk 5 kilometers daily to reach school, and he couldn't complete his study over 4th standard. So this contrast alone explains why I firmly believe we live better life than our grandparents. Our grandparents worked long hours with limited leave, flexibility or job security. Work from home meant being unemployed. Today, with better leave policies, structured work hours, remote work, mental health policies are common in workplaces. Switching jobs or leaving from job or logging off from job on time would have sounded like science fiction to our grandparents. What was a luxury in those times is basic expectation today. Electricity, clean water, appliances, healthcare, or digital connectivity have transformed our lives. Washing machines have replaced hand washing. Gas stoves replaced firewood, and ChatGPT replaced asking neighbor. My grandmother, so it took 50 years for my grandmother to step out of this state. Today, we cross countries by 25 and complain about slow airport Wi-Fi. Global education, affordable travel, social media and workplaces have enabled us to get exposed to culture from Bali to Badin. Overall, I feel we live a better life than our grandparents, healthier and more comfortable. Medical advances or medical advances, better work conditions, digital payments, or access to global information has been part of our daily lives. Our grandparents worried about survival.
So Toastmaster Bhushan says that what were luxuries then are basic expectations today. So we are living a better life than our grandparents. And the final take on this is by Toastmaster Pradeep. Let's hear from him.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, for giving me an opportunity to speak against the motion, which is, do we live life better than our grandparents or not? I have heard the arguments of my opponents, and I could figure out that arguments were basically based on the technology advancements. And no doubt, technology is far better than what we had in our earlier lives. But let me give you a scenario. In one particular location, there are plenty of hospitals with advanced technologies. Does that mean people are healthier in that town? If that is the case, US would have been the topmost country in happiness index as well as health index, but Finland tops the list. So that means money as well as technology is not the basis of quality of life. Here we are not talking about comfort in our life. Of course, technology gives us more comfort. I don't have to travel. Like my fellow Bhushan said, his grandparents have to travel a lot to carry a water pot. That is still the case. That means that problem has not been resolved. Technology could not resolve it completely. Right? Now, the next case is connectivity. People were less connected but more social. Now, people are more connected but they can't even interact with their own family members because phone is the biggest connectivity issue. we look at followers, not the person. We know the influencers, but we may not know who are the people in our own society, in our own building. So when we talk about technology, no doubt it is giving us the comfort that we needed, but it has taken away our ability to fight the diseases, to connect with people, to make us happier. Now, I can very well go ahead and talk to ChatGPT, but how many of you are aware that even ChatGPT can give us wrong answers? There are cases which have been filed against the people who have used ChatGPT. Again, I'm not saying that these things are not good for nothing. I'm saying being dependent too heavily on these resources is riskier. And because our grandparents did not have a choice, they were more connected, more social, more interactive, more joyful, more happy, healthier, as well as peace of mind was the key thing that they had in those times. So I would leave you with a question. Do you really want to give more importance to the comfort than peace? Then choice is yours. Thank you very much.
Previous generation had more peace and we have more comfort, says Toastmaster Pradeep. Now we are going to pause a minute for everybody to kindly mark their votes. I remind you, whichever team convinced you more, whether it was for or against, please put down their votes. I'm very impressed by the way the debate was conducted. I will give you a little behind the scene information. When we were briefing the contestants, the kind of Sun Tzu tricks and policies that they were using to just find out who is for and who is against the topic made me think I need to come with a leather jacket and helmet here. Who went off peacefully, I'm very happy with it. Done? साफ हो जाएगा क्रीम सब Cool, that brings us to an end to the first debate. So can we have a round of applause for that? So the timer cards for this debate will be, you have 2 minutes. Every speaker has 2 minutes. I will tell you when I get to that. Now, before I get there, or question for the audience, honest answer. How many times was a speaker speaking here and you were like, "Yes, ऐसा बोलना चाहिए था." How many of us? Or how many of us felt, "ये point छूट गया, वो point, this too they didn't tell, that person is repeating." How many of us? How many of us? Audience debaters. Okay, good news is the next section is for all of us. Audience debaters. So we do have a team of 2 people each. They will get 2 minutes on stage. So the timer card is 1.5 minutes will be yellow card, 1 minute will be yellow card. The timer is shaking his head because as we make a brief नहीं किया था. 1 minute is yellow card, 1.5 minutes is red card, 2 minutes we start uploading. So these are the teams. Along with them, the audience will also be speaking in this debate. I will call you on. You can raise your hands. 2-3 important things here. Kindly do not stand up when I call you on. Do not stand up and say, "I am going to take a neutral stance. I will tell 1 point against, 1 point for." Not okay. Pick a side and fight, please. So you either say a point for or a point against. I will tell you what a very interesting question that came up in the briefing later. So this is the premise. Audience get 1 minute. So you get a red card at 30 seconds. 1 minute we start uploading. Audience member gets 1 minute to put their point. The debater in their 2 minute and the audience in their 1 minute time can make a point, can reiterate a point, can rebut a point somebody has made. Everything allowed. Before we move ahead, room full of Toastmasters, and yet I am reminding something very dear to me. We are debating, cutting each other's points, trying to convince them that we are right, but all of it, let us remember, is within our club. These are our club members. Let's be respectful and at all times remember IRSE. Integrity, respect, service, excellence. Within those bounds, let us debate. When I started saying IRSE, Arvind has turned like this and gave me a look. No, sir, you are there. I don't dare mispronounce one syllable here and there. So, second round of debate. Our topic is social media. See, they just stood up and like, no, this is not the point. That is the attitude. So, the second round does not have voting because we have audience participation in this. So the voting remains on how we talk to each other, and in the end you can decide after going on. Okay, the topic one of the debaters can tell us? No? God save me. You confused. God save me. But before I give you the topic, I want to give the full credit to this topic to the person whose brainchild this is. It is our very own VP Education, The topic for this debate is, we have aliens living amongst us. Now you know why I gave the credit. The topic for the debate is, we have aliens living amongst us. Before I call on the first speaker, I am going to give all of us 5 seconds of silence so that we can pick a for or against side. And if we have an argument, we formulate it in our head. Okay, let's go. Our first speaker is from the for team, is Toastmaster Divyank. Usually tall men climb.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I strongly support the point that some advanced extraterrestrial life are living among us. Let us begin with science. You know our own galaxy, Milky Way, that is Milky Way, contains billions of Earth-like planets. And astronomers have confirmed that there are around 200 billions of galaxies like Milky Way. And universe consists of more than 300 billion planets like Earth-like planets. And astrophysicists had said that these planets are billions of years older than the Earth. So one question arises now. If these planets are having life, they are around billions of years ahead of us, more advanced in technologically. So one question is there, if they arrive on the Earth, would they arrive dramatically? I don't think so. They would arrive here like an intelligent explorers do, observed without interference. And second thing is, scientists, US Defense Officials have officially acknowledged unidentified aerial phenomena that demonstrate technological capabilities beyond human understanding, like instant acceleration, supersonic speed. These things are still not explained. And now one more question arising here: if they are existing here, why don't they contact us? There is one more scientific theory called Jew hypothesis that states that older and more advanced civilization intentionally not contact younger civilization in order to let them grow. So if this theory is correct, aliens are living among us, they are here, they are silent, they are observing us without any interference. So the choice is yours. In history, we have been proved many times wrong by science. Earlier we believed that sun revolves around the earth, but science has proved us wrong.
Audience debater who's for the point, saying there are aliens living amongst us. Raise your hands.
Is there any opportunity for neutral case?
No, that's why I briefed you right in the beginning. Yeah. Pick a side and fight, please. Yes, sir. Is someone from there raise their hand? Vinay raised his hand. Yes, sir.
No, I'm just.
No voting. Anybody who has a point to make? Yes, sir. Can we also make this a small kind of, just give your name and then the point, just your name.
I'm Kalpana. So aliens live amongst us because as Piyush said, aliens are hidden somewhere. So
Absolutely. So there are aliens for absolutely. Audience member for the motion. Aliens are living amongst us. Anyone else? I'm going to be scared of the rickshaw driver going home. Aliens, yes, Toastmaster Pradeep.
Well, I believe aliens are living amongst us or not.
No. Either they're living amongst us.
They are living amongst us. That is because most of the scientific theories are still clueless what is happening around the world. There are certain phenomena which are going around, so people are still figuring out what sort of aliens are they and where have they come from.
Okay, so science not advanced enough, you say. I'll come to you after the next speaker. Is that okay? Yeah. One, a safety warning I want to give in the club. Every time you're talking about science phenomena, physics, quantum physics and all that, you are triggering a scientist here. You will have to face the consequences and I am not responsible for it. Because I can see that scientist expression changing by the minute.
He's observing these aliens.
He's definitely
Jays, please mind where you're sitting. Have some concern for safety. Okay, moving on, we will talk to someone who says aliens are not living amongst us. That is Toastmaster Tejas.
When I heard the topic, we have aliens living, I almost agreed with it. Because you know how big the universe is. If the solar system is the size of this room, the universe is not the size of the Agnel campus or Mumbai or India. It's the size of Asia. That's how big the universe is. So there is a very big chance that aliens are living. But the question is amongst us. If the nearest galaxy to us, Andromeda, we have someone from there take the fastest rocket we know of. It will take them 4.5 billion years just to reach from there to here. And that is the age of the Earth. So the chances that aliens live amongst us, that is highly improbable. Yes, somewhere in the universe they might exist. Second, what incentive do they have to watch us? Think about it. Lastly, I would like to say the burden of proof lies on my opponents. To prove that aliens exist, they can't say that, oh, I see 5 triangles on the ground, hence aliens. Right? That way I'll be like, oh, I feel the fan is shaking, Monjulika is sitting there. Right? I need to have some certainty, some proof based on which I can claim that aliens live amongst us. Right? And finally, no scientific organization like NASA, ISRO has ever found any convincing evidence for aliens to live amongst us. That's my time. Thank you.
Oh, daredevil debaters. I'm warning people, they're not listening. Now they're going NASA, ISRO. We have Using data point is dangerous. Understand? Okay. Audience member against the motion. Yes, ma'am. Because she's the next speaker. That's why.
not living. The basic principle is that when he is saying that the nearest galaxy is 4.2 billion years away, yeah, then and we have evolved since 4.2 billion, and that galaxy is much previous than us. Then they must have been evolved much more than us. Then there are high possibility that they will not look same like us. So if they are present among us, we can easily identify them. Like what I believe. It's okay.
Very good, very good. Anybody has a point to counter? Anybody has a point to counter? Yes. My God, she has a lot of aliens there. Correct.
So they are being from so many years, so much light years ahead, and they are very developed. Since they are very developed, they have a shortage of space, and that's why they are coming to our world to stay among us.
That is the pain of somebody living in Mumbai. Come on. No space. We understand. Moving on to a speaker who is going to tell us aliens live among us is Toastmaster Shweta.
Okay, let me clarify this first. That I didn't started believing about aliens not because of science, but I started with curiosity. I started exploring the curiosity because first time I ever heard about aliens is through movies and stories. And when I saw the first time an alien movie, that was Star Wars. Honestly, I felt awkward. And it felt very unfamiliar. The characters were strange and it was uncomfortable to watch. But later I realized the discomfort was not because of the aliens were impossible. It was because they were different. And when I grew older and watched so many real life footages or documentaries on aliens, one thing got clear, that aliens are not monsters like they are shown in movies and something like that, but they are the intelligent beings just existing in this world, where the human don't understand their way of communication, their way of operation. Just imagine, we live in a world where bacteria and viruses existed where we can't see with the bare eyes. And that itself tells us that we live with creatures that we don't even know, and it can't be explained by the humans. So I still believe that aliens exist amongst us. Thank you.
I am going to follow the president of our club, President Toastmaster Libby, and open the forum and say, someone with a 4-point can raise their hand, someone with an against can also raise their hand. I just got very excited after this. Someone else will go?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, nobody non-debaters. 1 second. You last people sitting at the back, Divya doesn't have a point, Vinayji doesn't have a point. Who should we listen to Vinayji first?
So I really think aliens live amongst us, and I'm saying this from a very personal experience.
Are you saying serious? You people are laughing.
We are laughing for that.
Don't go like this. And I am saying aliens living amongst us, and my personal experience. There are so many times when I talk, when I give my speeches, when I talk to my kids and all, the way they look Toastmasters, my whatever I'm talking about, they're very alien to everybody else. That's the side I feel that. It's like I feel that I am an alien.
Valid point. We knew that. No doubt. Sure. Anybody else? Toastmaster Padmapati doesn't have a point. Lady in. Yes. Tell me. Judgment also has a point. Very good.
Yes, aliens are.
Your name first. Your name, then you tell them.
My name is Padmapati. Okay, aliens are not here. So if aliens are there somewhere in the world,
Universe.
I believe they are far more advanced. And they will find out what is happening on the earth. So if you are here, we know what is happening in the Afghanistan, and we will not take there. So aliens are fully aware of what is happening on the earth. So they will not dare to come here and play around.
Valid point. Yes, sir.
So I am speaking against, I am Gauri Shankar. So first of all, as we are moving more and more nuclear basically, we even don't know our neighbor. So the definition of alien also comes into the picture. Who is an alien? So for a North Indian, a South Indian would be an alien. Because they don't know the language at all. For East Indian, a West Indian would be an alien basically. So until unless a person harms away in a event which is not explainable in a normal situation, that would be something which is of alienic culture. So I don't think there would be any alien amongst us because we have not heard about these kind of things in our world.
Okay, he's twisted the definition of spun the definition of an alien. Yeah, I don't dare say twisted. The senior Toastmaster sitting here. Anyone else? Yes. We'll give someone who's not spoken a chance. I was thinking, yes, sir.
I'm against
Mahesh, yes.
So I'm taking a stand that there are no aliens just because if there are aliens over here, they would have better technology and they would try to rule us, and nobody is trying that.
So we're still in one piece, so there are no aliens amongst
Still
us.
humans which are ruling.
Okay, valid point. No news is good news, he says. Anyone else? Yes.
I have 3 case studies.
Timer has 3 cards and
My name is Sushil Vamare.
Start timing.
First case study was of 2004 from USA. USA Navy pilot, they encountered a unidentified object. The object dropped down from 80,000 feet to sea level, and that object was having no wings, no exhaust, and no heat signature. But it was detected by multiple radars.
When Toastmaster Vidya was speaking, my heart also dropped like that. No wings, no nothing.
Second case study, it was reported in 2017 to 2021. US department, they released official videos of unidentified object. And third case study, it was of
A lot of science telling us that we have aliens. Before we wrap up the debate, I am strongly of the opinion there are aliens living amongst us because I have seen alien life living amongst us. There are people who have 2 kids, a pet, are active in Toastmaster leadership in their club. They have jobs running, they have a side gig, and they are still posting photographs of themselves sitting in their balcony at leisure. I don't have time to sneeze. So I am very sure there are aliens living amongst us, and they are aliens.
My wife said that.
Yeah, so before we wind up the debate, we will listen to the last speaker. Last speaker. Sorry. Not last speaker. So before we wind up the debate, we will listen to our speaker who is saying there is no alien life living amongst us. That is Toastmaster Kanchika.
So a lot of debate has already happened. I will just wrap up all our points. So the claim that aliens are living amongst scientific claim, and a scientific claim has to live or die on evidence. Right now, even if as a Marvel fan, an ET fan, or an OG Jadoo fan, the idea appeals to you, there has been serious search for alien life. There is NASA Mars rover and the James Webb Space Telescope, and they're looking for microbes, they're looking for distant atmospheres, and if even those observable traces of alien life outside the Earth are, we know about it, if there is uninhabitable atmosphere on Mars. So if advanced alien life was living on Earth, I'm sure the announcement would be much more than our conspiracy theories. When you think about those traces, then think about satellites which are tracking every square kilometer of Earth. We are monitoring the airspace, the oceans, the radiations and signals from the space, and we run DNA tests on millions of humans every year. So if there was any evidence of different DNA or genetics or technology, that data doesn't exist yet. We have all discussed about the phenomena of unidentified, and unidentified just means that you can't explain it, not that aliens live among us. So UFO theories, still conspiracy theories, and there are times that they have been debunked time and again. So unless a Jadoo comes here, I won't say that aliens are living amongst us.
A lot of scientific arguments. I thought a lot of pot shots will be taken on what alien, who alien, but very scientific. We have a very mature, logical, scientific club, like our past president. Before I run out the may I make a request? Please time in. My God, really understand.
We believe that we are not able to detect any alien activity. So before I tell you that why we are not able to do it, so you are knowing that we are right now in we are using 6G, 5G technology, which is in megahertz range. And we are even in 3G, which was in below megahertz range. So what I am saying that our detection is limited by the range which we have, like visible range, we can detect, we can analyze things. But now suppose the aliens are communicating in the frequencies in the domain which are not known to us, like maybe they are using quantum effect. They can quickly move to other planets due to the quantum effect, and there is a possibility of it. We cannot detect it. And aliens will not come here to live among us, they will come here for the resources. See, there are billions of Earth-like planets available, but not necessarily that all the billions of Earth will have same type of valuables, like our positioning with respect to the Earth, the water we have, the atmosphere we have. So it is not available maybe in all the other planets. So alien will come here.
Are you for the point? He says aliens are living amongst us. I completely agree. I have seen aliens. I even told you I saw aliens.
But Dheeraj said that they come here for resources, not live among us.
Not live among us. From science.
Excuse me. A man is allowed to live. It's okay. Yes.
So I am in the opinion that aliens live among us. One thing is, like, we were all speaking from technical aspect of alien, but if you look other part of word alien, alien means someone who is not from that group or not from that area, or someone who will not fit into your group. Because when multiple times it is used in such a way, like I believe I have qualities of alien.
Welcome to the club. People who don't be in the club know I'm super weird.
From school itself, I have been observing that I have that quality to be invisible. Like it takes a lot of time for people to actually So if we look at from that perspective, aliens live among us. There are pretty weird, different type of people living among us, and there will always be someone who is alien to you. So,
Yes, like people who would do all the things in the world and still have time to sit down and yes. With time.
I think aliens don't live amongst us because they came to Earth, they saw what was going on, and they left.
One sentence and we are done. Before I wrap up the debate session, let us, you want to know who convinced you more, or the debaters want to know who will convince you more? So the four team.
Team 2.
Sorry. You are not supposed to scream out answers like that because the president has warned me she will murder me. Please don't do it. So the team which said that we are living better lives than our grandparents convinced 8 people among the audience, and the team which said no, we don't live better lives than our grandparents convinced 21 people among the audience. Commendations, trophies, vouchers can be claimed from the ex-com community. Thank you for tolerating me so long on stage, but more importantly, thank you for being such an active and yet supportive audience. Namaskar.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. It was a very well-planned and well-prepared session, because it went very smoothly, and the credit goes to Toastmasters Anita. I'm sure not just the participants, we all learned a lot because we observed and we could, as audience also, we could participate. A big round of applause for the participants. Apna time aayega. Why I'm saying this again? Let's acknowledge the original timer, Toastmaster Akshar. He was not on time for the meeting. He was on time enough to time both the sessions. So let's acknowledge him. Sing with me. Apna time aayega. Okay. We have come towards the end of the meeting and it's time to say goodbye. But what does Kishore Kumar say? So let us not say goodbye to new learnings, new opportunities for speaking and leading. Let us continue our journey to improve and grow in Toastmasters. I want to end with an energetic song, and we all have to sing together, and still we have goodies for those who do it very enthusiastically and energetically. And the song is Koi Kahe कहता रहे कितना भी हमको दीवाना कोई एनर्जी कहता रहे कितना भी हमको दीवाना अब बाकी है होकर में है ये ज़माना आवाज़ है फिर किसलिए हिचकिचाना हम लोगों की So once again, I would like to hand over the stage to a capable, dedicated and fun-loving president of our club, Toastmaster Libby. She's getting more time. Thank you so much.
So wasn't this an electrifying event? We started at 5, it's 7:30. I didn't even realize where the time went. 2.5 hours went off in a jiffy. Thanks to 3 amazing Toastmasters, Sunita, Vidya and Sangeeta. So we had a few guests come in after our session started. So if you could just raise your hand, we would like to speak with you. Those who haven't spoken with us. quickly.
I'm Nisha. So I was looking for a platform where I can improve my public speaking, and so this came up. Agnel Club. That's why I came.
Thanks for coming, and I hope you come again.
Hi, I'm Sanjeev, and this is my second session, and I really like this session because it's very engaging and it's good to see that everybody is participating and in the session, and this is what brings me over here. Right?
Hope to see you next
Yeah, my name is Alish. I found this to be Google, so I come here to improve my knowledge.
Hi everyone, my name is Mansi. I came to know about Toastmasters 12 years back by my college professor. Since then I've been following, I've asked friends to join, but today is the day where I have landed up experiencing the event. So yeah.
This is the first Toastmaster, not being a Toastmasters, ask people to come to Toastmasters.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of it. So yeah.
So Sai told me for the last 4 years he's been trying to convince people to come and attend meetings, any Toastmaster meeting. It's the first time he managed to get anybody. So Sai. Now this particular month, if you have noticed, we have 4 meetings, right? 2 are done. First was the regular meeting. This was a special meeting where I had an education session and a debate. The next one is going to be an even different meeting. Anybody? What is the next meeting about?
400 meeting.
Anybody who didn't know that it was the 400 meeting? Anybody? So all of you knew?
No, she didn't know. I didn't.
How many of you are going to come next week?
कौन नहीं आ रहा?
कौन नहीं आ रहा?
पार्टी
दीपक, हर्षित,
रेस कीप योर हैंड रेस
तुमको तो खाना खिलाना है।
तो देख रहे कौन कौन नहीं आ रहा नो
स्वप्ने ओके
ये रिकॉर्ड
एक फोटो लो ये इधर जो है सबने बोला है वो आएंगे So it's a 3-hour meeting, 5 to 8 p.m. followed by dinner.
Oh wow!
Right? And all of you have to come, not just because it is 400 meeting, because it is a celebration of what Agnel has achieved together, everything that we all have contributed to. So we are celebrating each other. So no other place better than Agnel to do it. And the meeting will happen in SIBA. It's in this premises only. I don't know how to call it. It's the engineering college. Yeah, the second entry. When you enter the gate, the first entry, there's one whole long building.
Right side.
Right side, there's a huge building. Yeah, you got the first entry and the second entrance, 6th floor, is where SIBA is. We'll give you the detailed map and address and everything. We will float in the groups. I'm hoping all of you come and come dressed as right? No, that wasn't a very enthusiastic reply.
yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
कोई आएगा
आप
कि
लोग
नहीं?
कर दी ना तो बोलो you show some
Now convener for that event is Toastmaster Shine. Toastmaster Shine. So encourage them a little more to come for the meeting.
Yes, please do attend, guys. We are putting in a lot of effort. It's great teamwork and a lot of exciting things happening in the meeting. It's not going to be a regular speech. So yeah, we have something very exciting and entertaining. So please do attend. Even all the guests who have come for the first time, please do attend. Thank you so much.
So now that's our next meeting. On 31st, we have again another meeting which is again different from what you've seen this month. It is the contest. See, we are having the international speech contest for which Sunita gave us a lovely education session and a table topic contest. I think we've done education sessions for both of them. Right? How many of you are participating in contest? Praveen informs me that we have 22 people who have said that they would participate in table topics.
Not here.
है क्या कोई And ISC? We'll figure it out. And for those of you not participating, what are you going to do? This is what we're going to do. Audience is most welcome, but we need role players. So if you're interested in being role players, contribute to the contest. Please get in touch with our VP Education, Toastmaster Praveen. Yes? Okay, that's all that we have, and with that we wrap up this very, very special meeting, and I will ask all of you to come over for a photo. Woo!